Hello, howdy, hi. I was on TikTok and somebody made a ranking of all the Pokemon Gmax forms and I didn't like their list. So instead of getting mad at them or putting little hateful comments, I decided I'm going to make my own list. I'm going to make my own list and everyone's going to agree and clap. Last place is Caparaja because if I lost my legs and it all went to my nose, I think that'd be really unfortunate. Next is Corviknight. Corviknight frustrates me because I really like Corviknight and it's a Pokemon I've grown to really love. But the Gmax form doesn't do anything transformative. Okay, the wings are open now. Wow, I'm sure I could do that before. Colossal's kind of cool because it's a colossal coal monster and it's got a bunch of coal at the top, but it's just not for me. I don't really like base Colossal that much either. So this is just a not for me pick, okay? Next is Hatterene. It doesn't do anything too transformative. I do like that it is like a little tiny version of Hatterene and the body expanded. There's actually a few Gmax forms that are like that, where it's the Pokemon is roughly the same size as it was before and other aspects grew. I do like that, but not with Hatterene. Sorry. Eevee. Eevee is very frustrating because all I can imagine is that's really uncomfortable to have so much neck fluff. You're probably sweating under there. Might as well give it the fur coat ability so you can take double fire damage. Right? Hold it! Next is Butterfree. So the designers were absolutely okay, we made a Mega for Beedrill, so we gotta do something for Butterfree, but I feel like their heart wasn't in it, because they just made Butterfree's wings really stinking big. I like the color of the wings. I think the colors are nice. But that's it. Grimmsnarl. So when I first did the ranking, I was kind of Grimmsnarl I thought was going to be kind of low, because it was oh, Grimmsnarl just worked out and now has a different body shape. But then I kind of saw it as no, base Grimmsnarl is regular Grimmsnarl, and then Gmax Grimmsnarl is they're putting on a drag performance, and I imagine the legs are really high heels. And once that happened, I was okay, I like Grimmsnarl a bit more, but it's still relatively low. But it did knock it up a few places, so there we go. 2-in-1. It's Appleton and Flapples. This one's really disappointing to me because I really like the design and it is really cool, especially to see a dragon emerging from an apple like that. But I feel Appleton and Flapple have very distinct designs, so to give them the same Gmax is really disappointing. And overall, I feel if anything, this Gmax is more of a Gmax of Applin than it is either of the evolutions. So, a little sad, but okay. Next is Venusaur. I like this Venusaur well enough. The thing is, I like base Venusaur, but especially when I think about Mega Venusaur, I'm oh, that's really disappointing. But Gmax Venusaur ain't that bad. I like this one. It's good. It's okay. Next is Lapras. I especially really like the little ring around Lapras. I'm a big fan of that. And it's got a little, almost a little cruise boat on its back. I think that's cute. I like that. Next is Machamp. So Machamp grew big and has these giant fiery fist. I think that's really cool. It adds a nice little extra energy to it. It's nothing too transformative, but it is really, really cool. Urshifu, both forms, Rapid Strike and Single Strike. I did red below blue because that's just my preference. I also really like that they did I say a base white color with a primary color accent. I feel that's not seen a lot in designs outside of Elemental Hero Neos that I can think of off the top of my head. So yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's cool. It's fine. No strong comments.
You really think I needed all the guards at the Hex Gates?
Next is Sandaconda. Sandaconda, little twister boy. Got stuck in a sandstorm. Sandstorm turned into a twister. Oh no, that snake is coiled, babes. Next is Alcremie. Alcremie is one of those Pokemon, like I said, tiny version. Slapped on top of like the extension. And the extension is a big old cake. And I really like that. I think that's cute. I'm a fan of that. And the next Pokemon is also one of these small Pokemon that grow. Inteleon. Inteleon is on like a sniper's nest. But Inteleon's tail is actually part of the little like sniper post. And I really like that. I'm a pretty big fan of that. Sadly, I feel like Inteleon is my least favorite of the Galar starters. So that's kind of why Inteleon's here. But this one is really cool. Especially because a lot of the Pokemon don't really do anything with the like Dynamax clouds above, but Inteleon's literally amongst the clouds, and I think that's really cool. Melmetal I think is really awesome because like as Melmetal grew, it looks like the like amorphous metal just kind of like expanded and is now like all gooey and stuff. I really like that, especially considering the Pokemon Meltan is not like the nut, it's the blob. So for this to be like the blob, I really like that. It's the blob that grew, and it still does have like the metal pieces. I'm a big fan of this. I wish Melmetal, while I'm at it, there are a lot of mythical Pokemon that make me sad because it's like I really like the design, but I'm never going to use it in a playthrough, and that frustrates me because I feel like that's when like the Pokemon I like become Pokemon I love, is when I get to use them in a playthrough or like some extra game or card game or whatever, you know what I mean? So it frustrates me because it's like I would love to use Melmetal, but I'm never gonna have a chance, you know? Next is Centiskorch. Regular Centiskorch is cool, and this one grew, and I really like specifically its like a G-Max move where it does the little like woo 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 woo, and it looks like a big old heat lamp. Big fan of that. Big fan of that. The next three I feel like are all together because they give me like kaiju vibes, especially in terms of proportions, and I'm a big fan of that. The only Godzilla movie I've seen is Godzilla -1, but after watching that, I definitely like kaiju. So first is Dreadnought. Dreadnought is really cool. It's just, hey, Dreadnought got tired of walking on all fours and stood up and said, I'm here to take down a skyscraper. Which is pretty cool. Next is Blastoise. I like that Blastoise's back is literally like a fortress now of all sorts of cannons and weaponry. I really like that. And then the final one's Charizard. At first, I didn't like Charizard's like little tiny flame wings, but then I was like, no, if Charizard were that big, Charizard would not be able to fly very efficiently. So I feel like this is cool. And I really like the like accent of the flame, like spewing out of the mouth. Yeah, I really like those, the kaiju brothers. Next is Kingler. How many times have I said next? If I was writing a paper, I'd be like, ugh, I used, next is way too much, you know? Anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. It kind of, Kingler's fun because it looks like those spider crabs that you find at like the bottom of the ocean, which is really cool. And I like when Pokemon get a little silly. I like when a Pokemon gets a little silly, and to have this very beard papa facial hair is very nice. And I like that a lot. We're in the top 10. Holy smokes. And Garbodor is number 10. I like that. Of course, the natural progression of Garbodor becoming a big giant towering monster is just, what if I consumed more garbage? And I like that you can see aspects of that. Like the boat. A boat. Yeah, that's awesome. Rillaboom. Rillaboom's next. I like Rillaboom, especially on the drum. That's really cool. I like that they took the idea of like, yeah, which they do this with all the Galar starters, where it's like, hey, their signature move, you know, Inteleon gun, Rillaboom drum, and Cinderace Pyro Ball. Make that their G-Max thing. And I really like that. I think it looks really cool. So thank you, Rillaboom. Duraludon. Duraludon's interesting because now it is the only no, it's not. No, it's not. I totally was about to lie and say it's the only non-fully evolved G-Max Pokemon, but that's just not true. That's just fully not true. But I like that it's a skyscraper. I think it's cool. I think it's neat. I like it when... I'm going to change my notes, actually, and move one of the Pokemon further up. I don't need to tell you that. You don't know that. Meowth. I like that Meowth is long. Long Meowth. I'm a fan. And it exceeds over the clouds. Same with like Inteleon. Oh, they're two long characters hanging out. Do you think Inteleon was like, oh my goodness, I'm in my sniper's nest. I'm ready to take out one of this guy's 9 lives. And then Meowth said, that's right. And then like grew and stretched and showed up right in front of Inteleon. Yeah. This is also a prime example of I like it when they get goofy. I like when we have a silly Pokemon. They said extend the y-axis. Snorlax. I like Snorlax. Snorlax in general is one of my favorite Pokemon. And to be like, yeah, it slept for so long, a little civilization was spawned on its belly. A nice little ecosystem. I really like that. I'm a big fan of that. So, thank you, Snorlax. Toxtricity is number 5. To me, this is just pure coolness. I really like Toxtricity's form. The thing is, Bake's Toxtricity, I'm just kind of okay with. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. I like it. It's fun. But this Gmax form is genuinely amazing. I love the eyes. I love all the spikes coming out of the back. And it just feels like so imposing. And the idea of like being like a tiny little person and like a creature, I imagine the process of Dynamaxing Toxtricity is like it grows in like length, you know, because it's standing up. But then like as it hits a certain like apex, it like tips over, and then like when the smoke clears of the transformation, it's just like looking at you like that. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. That's really cool. So yeah, thank you, Toxtricity. Next is Pikachu. Oh my goodness. I bought this card set forever ago because I wanted this statue. I really like it. Everybody talks about we want the return of Fat Pikachu, and they said, okay, we'll do it. And I think they did a really good job. Because, like, the thing is, this is so simple. Like, realistically, this is very simple and doesn't do anything too transformative, but I feel like it does just enough. And I feel like Pikachu already has, like, such a great design where it's like, okay, they knocked out of the park with that. So they can get away with this. And it's still good. Third, we're in the top 3. Get out the medals. Get out the podium. Play the little fanfare, the little victory. Or should we play the victory, the Hall of Fame music for first? Gengar. Gengar is awesome. I like it. I like Gengar. This really plays into like kind of the like terror of a ghost Pokemon. Gengar's the only Dynamax ghost, ain't it? Yeah. Huh. They knocked it out of the park with that one. But I like that it's like this giant portal to the underworld, basically. And it's like emerging from the ground. I also really like the animation for when Dynamax, Gmax, Gengar spawns in. It's really cool. Second place is Orbeetle. I love that they took the region's bug and gave it something special like this, because I feel like when it comes to bug Pokemon, it's very easy for the like regional bug to just be kind of like shoot away after a while. So for them to give Orbeetle a really special form, especially something so cool, this is just like so transformative to me, because you can look at like base Orbeetle and be like, yep, that's a psychic beetle. But then they were like, no, it's a UFO. That's awesome. It's got the little like beam me up, and also because it's a UFO, it's above the clouds of the Dynamax cloud. Oh my goodness, I love it. Orbeetle, oh my goodness, genuinely one of my favorite Gmaxes. I mean, yeah, it is one of my favorite because it's in second place. Oh my stars, it's just so cool. I love it. I love it. And in first place, play the Hall of Fame music. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Cinderace. Cinderace is my favorite Galar starter. And I liked it before, but especially once they revealed the Gmax for it, I fell in love. This is genuinely so cool. It just has so much, like, I don't like. It's just so cool. It's so cool. It's very very Gurren Lagann, you know, and I really like that. It's just so cool, and especially just like, I don't know, just the simple crossed arms, especially because it's still like the size of like base Cinderace basically, and like I imagine like versus any other Dynamax or Gmax Pokemon, it's just got such like, I don't know, energy. Like it's looking eye to eye with a Titan, like at still its base form, and it's like, yeah, what about it? Oh, and amazing. No notes. I love it. What a superb Gmax Pokemon. Thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate it. If you like that, subscribe, leave a like. And if you want me to do Mega Evolutions, put a comment that says, quote, if you don't do Mega Evolutions, I'll be so sad that I will make a Mega... No. Scrap that. You can start typing that. Type scrap that. And then type, please make a Mega Evolution list because that would make me very happy. Thank you. And an emoji of your choice. Amen? Bye.